Hola. Welcome back to the I Am We podcast. I am your host. I recently used to go by Papi Yugi, she, they pronouns, and in a series of events, we actually now go by Ugu, and that's UGU with the macron on top of the first U. And it was a name given to us in the dream space by our loving ancestors. And so this is the name we will be going by moving forward. And we feel like we will make a whole other video for that. However, just to be mindful of time, and for those who are just interested, we want to talk about Peru. So we live here in the Sacred Valley of Peru, and today, August 14th, 2026, marks exactly 1 year since we moved here. We left the United States exactly 1 year ago, and we said ciao. Honestly, we were not happy with our life there anymore. And Peru is actually a long term manifestation that took quite some time to actually come into fruition. And, the journey leading up to arriving here was very intense, to say the least. And, we just want to kind of share our reflections of now living here for 1 year and, being more integrated here in the Sacred Valley. Just some of the lessons and some of the things that have really transformed us. Honestly, really transformed us. First and foremost, I just want to give just a quick snippet of the story of how we arrived here in Peru. And in February of 2024, we attended a music festival. And at the festival, we were giving a girl a tarot reading. And in exchange, she handed us a Peruvian soul. And when she handed us the soul, we just had this activation, vision, just this deep soul knowing, honestly, that we were coming to Peru. We didn't know when, we didn't know how. However, it just really kind of activated it and put us on the radar for it. So we said, fuck it, let's just put our energy towards there. And that was around when we kind of started gearing our energy towards Peru. We didn't actually start putting a lot of manifestation force into it until we got our second sign, we'll say. And that was when someone we were following posted on their Instagram that they were going to be part of a retreat that was happening here, specifically in the Sacred Valley of Peru. And again, we had this just heart opening, this activation, and everything in our spirit was like, go for it, try that out. That seems like where you need to be. So we hopped on the discovery call. We booked a one-on-one. We got all the details and information. We needed $700 to reserve our spot for the retreat, amongst just getting our passport, booking a flight, all that good stuff, right? The money never came. Yeah, at least not enough for us to afford it. We did get our passport though. The retreat was held in December of 2024. We got on the call in September of 2024, just for some context. And in December, around Christmas time, we just were really sad because we really felt deep in our spirit that we should be in Peru and, being in this retreat, doing the medicine, connecting with the land, all that beautiful things. And so we just dropped in. We asked our ancestors, like, yo, why are we not in Peru right now? Why are we not doing medicine? Why are we just not where you were making it clear that where we should be? And they said very clearly, oh, because you're moving to Peru. So it's going to take a little longer, but once you get there, you're not leaving. Bet. Okay, cool. They said it clear as day, just like that. So January came around, 2025 started. And from then till May was just a whirlwind of life. Come May of 2025, we are living on the street in Long Beach, California. I literally mean on the street, sleeping in parks, sleeping on the sidewalk, sleeping on benches, sleeping at the beach, surviving off EBT, not knowing when we're going to shower, when we're going to wash our clothes. Literally just had a backpack and like one extra bag of everything that we could just carry, just roaming around. So that was pretty much our life for about a month, give or take. The entire time, every night, all we would do was just visualize and affirm and manifest and really just astrally project ourselves there that we were here in fucking Peru. Why? Because when it became clear to us that we were coming here back in February 2024, we just didn't doubt it. We had full certainty in our soul, in our heart, in our entire being that this was inevitable. And again, we didn't know how, we didn't know when, we didn't know where the money was going to come from. Because again, in May of 25, no job, no money, no car, surviving off EBT, literally nothing. Just us and the land and the ancestors. And you know what? We still kept pushing. And we still kept striving. And every night, we were in Peru. We didn't give a fuck what was around us. We were in Peru. 3 months later, August 13th, around the evening, we hop on a flight and we're on our way here because we made that shit happen. From literally nothing to moving and living in a whole new country. And now 1 year later, what I feel were the biggest transformations for me, having gone from that to arriving here and then another whole wave of initiations beginning, is I can say that the person I was 1 year ago is entirely different to the person who I am today, speaking to you on this camera. Because now, today, Ugu, again, we were Papi Yugi when we first arrived in Peru, Ugu is rooted. We are rooted in the land. We are rooted in ourself. We are rooted in our heart. We are rooted in love. We are rooted in our mission. We are rooted in our medicine, in our magic, in our purpose. We are so stable, and we have never been this stable in our entire life, if I'm being honest. Now that we know what true stability feels and looks and tastes like, we were never fucking stable, ever. And so we are very proud to be as stable and rooted as we are today. And we're continuing to grow our roots, to deepen them, to strengthen them, so that way we can continue to have a more solid foundation for our life. So that's definitely one of the big transformations of living in Peru for a year. The second is presence. Woo! Y'all, I used to be such an overthinker. I used to be such a worrier. I used to be such a daydreamer. I used to be such an overanalyzer. And living here in the Sacred Valley, all these initiations, all these thoughts, emotions, experiences, people, because where I live is a very transient town. So I've seen, I don't know how many people come and go and come and go, especially when I first arrived, because my first 8 months here, I was living in a community home where it was notorious for just having travelers and hosting travelers. I probably was the most long-term resident there, if we're being honest. You know, it kind of forced me to be present with my thoughts, with my emotions, with people, with experiences, medicine, everything. Like, I had no choice but to just focus on what's in front of us. You know? Let's not think about the past. Let's not worry about the future. And even if we're in the present, let's keep our field open. And so all of the initiations, everything that we've experienced in the past year has allowed us to be more present, which, again, notorious, because now that we know what true presence feels, looks, and tastes like, we were never fucking present. We were never present with anything or anyone. Like, no, this thing was always somewhere else. But now we can be present. We could be present here, with this recording, with this video, with the words that we're saying, with what we're sharing from our heart, because we are just so involved in the moment, because it's the only thing that exists and that truly matters. And so with that, the third transformation, can you guess? It's love. Love, love, love. And you know, the thing with love is we have experienced love before. And we've always been a lover. We've always been a very heart-centered person. And, you know, no matter what trials, tribulations, experiences, challenges, obstacles that have occurred in our way, we've always just maintained, how can we be loving in this moment? How can we bring it back into the heart in this moment? How can we love ourselves more, or the other person, or this experience more, you know? How can we be grateful for it? We've always come back to the heart. And honestly, in this past year, that's exactly what we've done. Through every single moment, all we've done is just come right back into the heart to open our heart, to heal the heart, to root in the heart, to be present in the heart. And through that has come more love. More love. So much more love. And true love, unconditional love, embodied love, the beloved. Love for ourself, love for our home, love for the land, love for the community, love for everything and everyone. And even for those people, places, or situations that seem unlovable, to just love it. And this is still something we're practicing and embodying because it's still just expanding and growing and allowing us to be more fulfilled in ourselves. However, the love that we embody and feel and express now, it's so much more different from the love we were doing a year ago. And again, we were very loving back then. It's just the depth, the intimacy of it now. It's different. And we love it. We fucking love it. And I love you. Yeah. The fact that it's been a year is insane. And if we're being honest, we expected more of like a grand hoorah type of like energetic moment. But it's honestly been a very mundane day. It's honestly just felt like any other day, any type of normal day. Not good, not bad. And, it also feels like this is a testament to just how we are actually living right now. How grounded and rooted and present that we are, And even though there was this expectation, we just simply let it go, you know? Because this past year, it's just wild to think it's been a year. It honestly feels like I just arrived a few weeks ago, if I'm being honest. But thinking about everything that has happened in just 364 days, 65 days, whatever, right? We are in a completely, and I literally mean completely different frequency, consciousness, awareness, perspective, embodiment of who we are than when we first arrived a year ago. And how did we do that? How did we do that? Quite a few different things. First and foremost, starting to surrender. Surrender to the flow, surrender to the process, surrender to the moment, and just be present. Amongst that, honestly, just our usual. We have learned so much more about nervous system regulation first and foremost, which, y'all, that shit works. To subconscious reprogramming and the tools that we can use to do that, as well as community. Community was definitely a big part of it. Finding right community, people to really be raw and vulnerable and open and share just what it is that I'm experiencing, And, sometimes I got advice, sometimes I got guidance, sometimes I just needed someone to lay on or lean on, and that was okay. Along with that, definitely medicine, magic, rituals, ceremonies, all of the most beautiful, energetic things you could think, especially living here in the Sacred Valley of Peru. And honestly, I think at the top of all this was just being human. Like being human, having a nice meal, taking a shower, going out to eat, using the bathroom, like resting. There's just so many things that we were doing to allow us to arrive here. And it was a learning process for us because we didn't have all the answers. We honestly were just taking it day by day, praying and hoping that what we were doing was going to land, work, stick, And now we feel like we have a very well-structured system and formula for how to continue this moving forward in life, Because we are a lot more centered. We are a lot more heart-led. And, we've done a lot of heart-based practices, heart-centered practices over the past year too, because we just wanted to continue being in love. And we didn't know that the person or being that we wanted to fall in love with was ourselves. And that's so beautiful. That's very, very beautiful, y'all. So just wanted to come on here and share this for the next episode of the podcast. And I'll be honest, I actually recorded a few other episodes. However, that was still Papi Yugi. And as I was editing them and I had full intent to actually share them, to look back on them and see, just the change, it just didn't feel like me anymore. It didn't feel true. It didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel genuine. And so I didn't feel like putting it out there. And I figured it's better to just start here. in this moment with this video to share a bit of Ugu, to share a bit of my story of how I arrived into Peru, and to share what I've learned since living in Peru for a year now. Because this is stepping out of the comfort zone, stepping into being visible online, being seen, sharing my story. So that way, if someone is watching this, and if you are, I love you, that you can receive the wisdom of what I've experienced and what I've learned. And that way, you don't have to go through those same things. And you could embody and integrate it now. Because I've learned a lot. I've definitely learned a lot. I've experienced so much from living in that community house, which was, there's just no words, to being a little polycule situation, which also no words, to moving into a space that is run by goddesses and feeling supported and seen and recognized and loved and getting paid and not having to pay for living. Like, y'all, I love it. And again, just a reminder, last year, May 2025, I was sleeping on the fucking street. And I literally do not exaggerating. I literally was sleeping on the street. And now I have this room. I live in a home. I have actually multiple homes that I could be staying in. And I don't have to pay for rent. I'm getting paid to just be me and exist and be pretty. And on top of that, I have such a deep love for myself, for the community, for the land, and feel so in my integrity and my authenticity, knowing what my path is, honoring that for my ancestors and for the community here. And there's just so much love. There's just so much love. There's more changes coming. I know it, I feel it, I see it, I taste it. So just wanted to come on here and share this. So this is what this episode is about. Is just living in Peru for 1 year, the story of how we got here. And, we'll definitely make some videos to express about the shift into Ugu, to go more into detail about how we arrived in Peru and just all the initiations that took place for that. And also, if there's anything from this video, if you watched it all the way through, that you'd like to hear more about, just go ahead and throw it in the comment, and I could definitely go more into detail about that, because we are stepping into our storytelling era. So if you would like to hear our stories, and if you would like to support us, just go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, share this video, or not. Either way, I love you. You're beautiful. Thank you for existing. Thank you for breathing. And I'll catch y'all for the next episode.